Hi everyone, this is Dave and I'm channeling the man Moon. This is Moonride, my channel here to tell you what is going to happen in the near future. Now, I've decided this time to work a little bit more on the next stages for America. Let's see, it's Tuesday today in Australia, the 29th of June, right? Sorry, the 29th of May. And we'll see what happens next here. This is about the next month. I noticed that a lot of people are really needing some information just to sort of manage the incredible political times that we're living in. I always do this with the intention of trying to reassure people that things will be okay and to just give them some advice about how to act in lieu of these present problems, right? Um, Please, as you're doing this, give a moment of thought and prayers to those missing kids from Dhaka. Just try to bring energy, love down from above, and just try to send it to those kids. Believe me, it makes a difference. You really can change the world if you change your sort of attitude and if you spend that moment. So I would invite all of you to do it. This is what you can do. It's similar to praying. You're calling in an energy, just call in energy from above, just call in love and light, and just send it to them. Just think about those kids, think about whoever would need it, and it really does work. Let's see what's up for America in the next few weeks. Okay, so more Trump lies exposed. Not a big surprise there, but so we say George Washington, chopped down the cherry tree and then he told his parents. Trump is just like, grabbing every apple he can off that tree before somebody else takes the dive and takes the responsibility. That's just so symbolic of the person he is. And like he'll take one bite of the apple and throw it away. He just doesn't even care. It's all accomplishments, financial accomplishments for him. It's all about winning. But Trump in the next few weeks, what's going to happen? Okay, so I see him pulling a stick shift. He's trying to control everything. He's moving like a stick shift. He's like, and he's able to move the levers on some things politically. He is able to, but there's some things that he can't do. So the car only has a few gears. Beyond that, he can't drive anything more. He's sort of hemmed in, and he also doesn't know how to wield the levers of power anyway. So he's trying, and he just makes these bold moves, but they're not solving the problem on the horizon. And he cannot see very far into the future. So he doesn't know what to do because he doesn't have any anticipation of the outcomes. He's like he gets between a couple of mountains and there's no view and there's cloudy. So he is just lost. He's just lost in this place. Oh, and guess what? Cops just pulled him over, Mr. Mueller. Mr. Mueller is dressed there as a police person, and he's come up to his car, and he's like, "Yeah, you know where you are, because I know where you are. I know what you're doing, and I've been watching you." Um, and Trump's trying all of his maniacal routines, like here, take a bribe, here, do this. No, 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 no. I'm a real police person, and I'm dogged, and I will not stop. And Trump tries to do these things to make him talk, and he's just stoic. He's standing there, and he's like, okay, now you need to get out of the car. But, nope, get out of the car. And he's arresting him, and he's putting him in the back seat of the squad car. All right, so Trump's getting down to the police station. They're booking him. And you know what? He cries like a child. When he finally gets booked, he cries like a baby. And that's what we're going to see in the near future. I'm getting that in the near future, Trump is going to really show his colors in the sense that you're going to see that he is vulnerable and he's cracking. And I see him bawling like he's just lost it. Um, and the kids are in prison too, and they're like, "Look, Dad, it's us or you. Like, are you going to be a father and like take the fall for this, or are you going to make us take the fall for this?" And man, his daughter's really coming up forward, and that's actually again. I mean, I saw this before when I did the work with Lena Rodriguez. I saw this before that it's really his daughter that matters to him. He almost doesn't care about his sons. Like he doesn't care about his son-in-law. They were just tools anyway. But he actually does care about his daughter. He is like she represents like the only good thing that he created. You know, the only truly good thing. Um, and she keeps showing him paper. Look, Dad, look at these indictments. Look at these indictments. What am I supposed to do, Dad? It's either you or me. You know, you got to come forward or I'm done. And she's like, look, she's really expecting him to do this. And she's kind of wondering why, like, he doesn't do it sooner. Because he's kind of, I don't want to do that. What about me? And it's interesting because this will be a moment in time where his daughter really realizes who he is, and where he shows who he really is. He's like, I really don't care about anyone, but it is confronting him. He is on some level dealing with that issue of how selfish am I, because there is remorse. He does feel remorse about this with his daughter. He doesn't care about anybody else, but he does feel like maybe he did her wrong. I see him writing. I'm not sure if he's writing a confession or a resignation. I think I just see the signature, so it looks like a resignation. I think that he will resign, um, and I think that he will resign because this choice is, either she goes to prison or you do, and that's he's going to try to. He's sticking around to get the best deal he can. So the only thing he's got right now is the presidency. If he resigned tomorrow, they would just prosecute him. So he's sticking around to see if he can get any kind of deal. But nothing will matter to him until it's Ivanka, until it's his daughter. Nothing will matter. It's she and only her that will make him decide for once to put somebody else's needs above his own. And again, I see him signing this in prison. Now, it's not a literal prison. I think that it's more psychic, that he's there. The prison being that he will be left with no choice. Michael Avenatti will find more things about him. Michael Avenatti is like, okay, he's like a card shark, right? And he's got all the cards, and he's just like, yep, I got a full house in my hand. Don't think that I don't. I know what I am doing. He's the smart guy. He's like 10 steps ahead of Trump, and he knows more about Trump than we do, and he's like, yeah, you're glad that I'm doing this. He's a disgusting human. Um, and even then, he's got like not just like 5 cards in a deck. He's got like the whole deck, and he's just like, just I'll pick out a card when I need it, and I'll send it. It'll just land on your desk, and Trump will wig out every single time he does. He'll just pick more out and more out. He's showing me an ace. Is the ace next? He's like, yep. He's like, man, you haven't seen nothing yet. My next move is gonna be devastating. It's gonna be like, when you got play poker and you've got a couple aces showing, and then you get a third, and you lay it out on the table. That's it. Okay, so far this is like the third ace that makes everybody at the table go, maybe I don't want to be in this hand anymore. Um, And Trump is just furious because he's like, look, I own the gambling hall. You can't win. You can't win against me. That's not allowed. I'm going to start shouting into, yeah, and he's shouting and carrying on. But the security guys, even at his own place, are like, you know, what can we do? We can't arrest Avenatti. We can't fire Avenatti. He doesn't work for us. And Avenatti is like, we always think of lawyers as being this kind of shyster guys, especially when they're, very outspoken. Avenatti is actually a decent guy, and he really is in it. Obviously, he's partially in it for himself. He wants to be famous. Why shouldn't he? But he's also in it really because he is interested in justice. He has something in his life happened to women that he knew who were treated badly, and he's like, this is now I am going to put this man in his place. There's something actually noble about what Ovenatti's doing. He's not all just, it's not all about his fame and his money. Part of this really is he's delivering justice to a system that, like, where would justice come from but completely outside of the justice system itself? Okay. So Avenatti is holding up like a wind chime, and he's like ting ting ting, and he's like, He's like, I control the winds. Whenever I want to, I could just like send in a new problem, and Trump will have to respond. Interesting about Avenatti is really coming forward. In the next month, you're going to see him as often as you've seen him in the last couple of weeks, and he's really going to give it to him. Ha! I'm seeing Stormy Daniels with her hands on her hips, like, damn it, this time I got my power. I've been exploited by men. One of the things you think of adult film stars as being these sort of victims of what happened to her, that she did that. Sure, maybe that's somewhat true. But also, we can think of this as her taking her own power. She's like, actually, I was a powerful woman. I'm able to control men in a way that other men can't control men. I'm no dummy. I figured all this stuff out, and now I'm going to get some revenge for all the guys that treated me like crap. I'm gonna get. I'm going to. I am justice. All right, and she has the power to put him in prison or not. She's got the power now. Um, Cohen is looking very worried. Um, and she's kind of taunting Cohen, like, "Well, I've got a knife in my hands. I could cut the rope, but maybe not. Maybe you just stay there. I'll decide. Maybe I'll change my mind, but right now you're just gonna stay there." And Cohen is in jail too, and he's like counting the minutes, like, "Wow, what would it be like if I'd stayed here for a long, long, long time? What would it be like if I never saw my grandkids again? What would it be like if I, have to live with these guys who are gonna tear me apart the minute the cops stop looking? They're gonna eat me for lunch." And that's what he is thinking right now. Just a question of time before he flips. And I don't know why he's showing me red and green. What does that mean, red and green? Almost like a ledger of red and green. Okay, well, think about the ledger think about the green as being legit, and the red as being not legit, and the whole ledger is just covered with illegitimate activities. He can get a lot of people in a lot of trouble, and he's there thinking, you know what? If I speak, mafia will kill me. There's no question. I won't survive a week anywhere. Once I start singing, they're going to have to find, some corner of the world to put me in, along with the kids, and everybody else that is close to him. They're all, going to have to basically go into hiding, because this is how explosive. That's the one thing that's preventing him from just coming out and saying it and flipping already, is that the risks and dangers to his family, as well as himself, are so great Hmm. He's like going into a temple and praying and like consulting with a rabbi. Like, what should I do? What should I do? And the rabbi's pretty stern. And the rabbi's going, you know what? You created this mess, and you solve it. You know, don't ask God for protection now. Right? You did what you did, and this person is a priest. He's a Jewish rabbi, but he's also integral with God. He really is a truly godlike person, and he's just looking at him going, you give our people such a bad name by the way you behave. So many people are suffering because of your the horrible things that the people around you have done. Um, and this priest is just not sympathetic. I should say, rabbi is just not sympathetic to him. And he's essentially telling him, you go and tell the truth. It's about time you told the truth. Man is Cohen scared. Sometimes I've seen pictures of people like in Cambodia under the Khmer Rouge, they took photographs of people and you could see that their irises were really, really wide because they were so terrified. And that's what I see for him. Just like oh my God, what's going to happen? I don't know what to do. I'm so afraid. And just going more and more fear. Yeah, he just wants to go away. He just wants to sink into oblivion. He's just like, oh, I'd do anything just to be like, just to be lost in an island someplace. It's like, I'll sleep on the beach. Just anything but this. And he's like, I don't know where the escape route is. And the escape route is Mueller. Mueller's the only person that can get him back, that can release him from certain death. And he's thinking not just, Cohen is also thinking about the people around him. And I keep seeing a baby coming up. I don't know if somebody's about to have a baby in his family, but he's thinking like, I'll never see this child grow up. And now I have put them all at risk. So he's having his soul comeuppance right now, Cohen. And he's also thinking, Trump didn't treat me well at all. I was a hanger on the whole time, and Trump knew about it, and he never cared about me one bit. Now I'm in the, it's not a question of being loyal. It's a question of survival. And he thought like, hey, maybe I'll stick around and see if I can get the pardon. And he's like, that's not looking good. Every day it looks worse and worse. See, wearing a wire. He might even try wearing a wire to try to get people to say to implicate themselves, but nobody's fooled. Nobody's going to talk to him on the wire because they're just like, look, we know you're flipping. Like, who are you kidding, man? Like, don't ask these questions. Obviously, somebody else is listening in. Trump already guesses that he's going to flip, and is already preparing for the flip. They're already setting up a bunch of information on Cohen to make it all about Cohen and to undermine any integrity that he might have in this situation. Ha. Trump, Trump, I see Trump with like a hose and he's trying to squirt people. And this is just his impotence. It is like his, here he is holding the phallic symbol. And it's just like this impotent, I can spray you and get you wet, but that's not gonna. Maybe children are gonna run away, but it's not gonna work on Mueller, who's just stoic. And let's check out Mueller and see what Mueller's thinking. Uh-huh. So imagine a panel of switches. There's a whole panel of switches. It's a warehouse with super complicated, equipment, machinery, whatever. And he's like looking at that whole row and he's going, he just knows which one to press at just the right moment. And he's like, okay, the lions are at the gate now, so I should be worried, but I'm not pushed. I'm not going to go any faster. How about this switch? It's a question of time. It's just a question of time for Mueller. Um, and the time is not clear. It's not certain yet when he will reveal the information. So I can see a clock but no hands. He's just like, look, it's just a question of time. It'll happen, but it's not necessarily clear when it will happen. But it seems like it's fairly soon. Who is that? Okay, so he's Mueller is doing things in such a way that, as they're revealed, even like the average American person who knows nothing about law will get it. As these things are, many people ask, what about Trump's base? They're never going to change. Well, yeah, there may be some of them, but as he's revealing these bits and pieces, the regular person who isn't crazy is like, wow, okay, yeah, this is true. Now we know. Because I keep seeing this boy with like it almost looks like Huck Finn or Tom Sawyer as you imagine him, and he's there in front of his house, and it's kind of like I'm just your regular Joe. I'm just your regular person. I don't follow politics, but now this affects my sense of my deepest sense of justice. Even if I don't know what the law is, it is affecting. I'm understanding, and he's smiling. He's like, look, I get it. And this will be a victory for the common person, for the average person, beyond the political implications. The average person will get a lot out of this because it's the truth. And this boy is just showing me, yeah, like Boy Scouts. There's a truth, and there is one of the Boy Scouts' tenets is that you are truthful and good. And this is not truthful and good. I don't need to know any of the technical details of blah blah blah, but I'm a regular guy, and I'm just knowing. I'm coming into the world. I'm coming into the place where I vote with wider eyes as to what's really going on, and instinctively I know that this isn't right. Um, Stormy Daniels will continue to play a role. She has more to say because she's shown up in this image. Um, Look, Ivana is the key. She is the key to everything. Ivana is the one who Mueller will really have in his palm that will make Trump finally just acquiesce. And he'll be like, look, you could take some of the responsibility or she's done. And it seems like she might keep her lips sealed. She might say no. I won't turn my dad in. But she's but he on the other hand is actually maybe moved enough to relinquish his power just to keep her safe. That is the key for Mueller. That's what will change everything. He will he'll make some half-hearted attempts at the end to try to resurrect his base, but his heart is no longer in it. He cannot. This is a reality he must deal with, which is his daughter saying, "Look, Dad, I'm going to go to jail. What do you think's going to happen to me in jail? I am your daughter. You said you cared about me, and you don't. Or do you? Do you care enough to take the responsibility for what you've done?" She's standing there right now in his Oval Office. Do you care enough about me for this? And, I've already lost my husband. He's already going to go to jail. I've already given that to you. My brothers are going to go to jail, at least one of them. And she's working her power. Okay, actually, she's key because she's trying to, subtly now, she's trying to get him to do something. like resign. She's subtly trying to get him to remember her so that he manages to do the right thing here. Okay, just one more image. Wow. So, for those of you who want justice, this is justice. Watching him go through these machinations, that White House is like a prison for him. He's already in prison in a way because he can't do what he wants to do. He can't just go around exploiting everyone. He can't just go around getting laid all the time. He's looking at he's the only thing that's keeping him there is the minute that he walks out, then he's going to be subject to criminal investigations, which can be delivered to him because he will no longer be the president. So it's strange because he's kind of stuck in this prison, right? That is the White House. He can't leave, so it's already a prison, and he's already getting for all those people he screwed over. He is finally getting some justice. And I'm thinking that he is actually going to go to prison. Yeah, I do actually see him in jail, right? It's not a packed jail with 20 people in a cell. He gets his own cell, but he's in jail. And again, I'm going to ask, is this a literal prison? Yes, it is a literal prison. He's literally in jail. Because and it's not just because of Russia. He's in jail because he did a lot of legal things. And one thing that's going to happen is he's going to resign by saying, "Okay, you'll give me this on the Russia collusion thing. You'll let me off on that one, right? Okay, let me off on that one just to get him out of there. But then they'll hit him with all these other various charges. He's again making a deal. You'll leave my daughter alone, right? And they're saying, well, kinda, but you don't really have a good bargaining position right here, man. It's like your daughter's going to go to jail for her lifetime or for 10 years. What do you want to do, right? Okay. Now, in part of that deal, Ivanka's going to have to sell the truth too. So it's going to be one of those things where they have to say, yeah, we really did collude. This is how we did it. And he's not happy about it, but he's signing the confession because he's got nowhere else to go. And the daughter is she's a little bit satisfied by this. He did do it. I mean, he did finally come to her rescue by telling the truth. But just the whole country is turning against them, even the base. Like I see the base standing there and just turning their back on them. They finally realized like how bad they had it. Yeah, Trump is going to keep trying to get to that pedestal, and he's just going to get knocked down again and again and again. Right? Very quickly. This is going to change very quickly, like in a couple of months. I even see 1 or 2 months that it is shifting to be more and more and more against Donald Trump. Oh, he keeps showing me a trophy of some kind. And he's holding on to the one trophy that he has. And I guess that's his daughter. It's the one thing that he could hold up and say, I didn't totally screw this one up. He also might have another in the next few weeks. He might have a seeming victory, right? It might look like he'll get away with it, and ultimately that will fail. And when that fails, there'll be no more course of action. He's just going to negotiate his exit. Yeah, and I see him locked out of the White House. Okay, thanks so much for watching.